Hello, my name is Michael O'Keefe, aka The Movie Wist. If you enjoy this interview and want to hear more top-notch film industry conversations, please press the thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and hit the bell to stay in the know. Hamy Ramezan, thanks for your time. Tell me what
Thank you.
compelled you to make Any Day Now.
Well, since I went to film school, it was one of my dreams to make a film about our family escaping the Iran-Iraq war, as I had seen so many fascinating people during that time. And it felt like every film somehow I had so much, all the creativity, it gave me so much energy for my creativity. So I knew one day this film, but how, I didn't know.
Mhm.
With the debut film, it all of a sudden was very, now it's time.
Yeah, cool. While you were shooting the movie, did you ever have moments where you were thinking, gee, this is hitting so close, this is hitting my heartstrings, this is hitting I'm seeing something personal to me being actualized, and this is incredible. Did you have moments like that?
Those moments actually happened, at least for me, during the script writing.
Mm,
Because the film that you see has changed a lot. My approach was very negative at some point,
mm,
uh, because of the what happened in our society, the refugee crisis and the war. So the politics and all of that stuff got into me, and it was pretty violent what I was doing, and very political, and I was lost somehow in my own traumas
mm,
until I found out that there is no truth in trauma.
mm,
And I came out and did a personal story, but I found it that cinema needs the real life truth is very different in cinema.
mm,
You cannot put every day or
mm,
things together and assume that is true. So when I was watching it, during the script, it was somehow I was pretty anxious, almost like wanting to quit, because I was all of a sudden living my past, you know, and then it had impacted my present time because of the refugee crisis. It was all over place, the news and everything,
mm.
and I just had a kid, so I was thinking about him.
Uh,
But in the shoot it was just really really fun to see, like, for example, how Shahab Hosseini is representing my dad.
mm.
So so there was, it was such a warm, heartwarming, experience, that maybe it was there all the time,
Mhm.
because at some point Shahab said to me, this is very weird film that every scene that we make, it feels so good,
Mm.
that I always feel so good about it, so it was a very strange kind of a project.
Sounds like a real evolution. And while I was watching the movie, I think of, obviously the line about like, what do I say to a girl
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
house party.
yeah.
I think of moments of a lot of levity uh, within, a serious story, a lot of levity and a good balance. So, how did you apply that balance consciously?
Well, you are right that it was very conscious, because it's a debut film.
Mhm,
Even though I have done a lot of films and I'm very experienced, the audience doesn't know it. Maybe the film critics doesn't know it. So you had to, you cannot begin your film exactly like with right methods,
mhm,
because if you bring in the letter in the first scene,
mm,
you're telling a refugee story. And I wasn't doing that.
mm.
I was telling a story about a family. And in a way, I never wanted Ramin to be the protagonist. Of course, he's the captain of the film, but I wanted the audience to see everyone, but especially the family to be the main protagonist altogether, you know, because when you see that, they read the letter,
Hmm.
it's for them all, you know. There is no protagonist in there. There is no one who is suffering more. It's everyone together in that game. That's why the beginning was very hard somehow to show that this is Ramin and he's, you know, the captain. And but this is not a refugee film. Don't you know, just
Hmm.
kindly bring people in so that they feel relaxed and can start enjoy just seeing human beings, because after all it was telling a story about humanity, that we cannot be defeated if we are together, you know. And as you saw, I never brought in any so-called bad guy in the film.
Hmm.
I didn't want to want give them a screen time, because I could, you know, and that was very satisfying.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that, but that's true though, because you would have just hated this person if they were
Yeah,
away.
yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
would be a really easy dramatic scapegoat.
Exactly, and that and we could have easily do it, you know, like this, even in the edit room, you know,
Yeah.
this mainstream, really
Mhm.
like refugee film, but that would be awful, you know. That would be the last thing I wanted to do.
Okay. So are you happy that this movie is included in the Berlinale?
Yes, of course I am. You know, the times that we are living right now,
Hmm.
you know, just even thinking of that somebody is watching it actually maybe
Yeah.
somewhere is a great feeling. You know, we had a, I think it was a couple of weeks, we we had an amazing premiere in Finland.
Hmm.
You know, everyone was speaking about it, and I think we had time like 2 weeks, and we did the break even, or you know, very soon. And all of a sudden after that they shut everything down. And I just was like, not even the financial issue, but I just realized that cinema could be immortal, you know.
Yeah.
And I've always been thinking of it as an immortal art. And I just realized how much I I am connected to people through cinema, you know, through that big screen, not from the streamings and
Yeah.
television. You know, I just it's like it is my place where I paint, and all of a sudden it wasn't there, and now Berlinale has given me a chance to actually show it to international audience, or international people who potentially could show it to, you know, outside of Finland, because I love Mehdipurs. I love the way they live. I love the, you know, and when I say Mehdipurs, I don't mean my family. I'm really
Hmm.
they were really fictional family. I think they just have so much to give, and because of them, I just want so many people to see it and just be like, "Am I the only one, or are you feeling this?" You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are some of your favorite contemporary filmmakers?
You know, Iran, you know about Iranian cinema, you know,
Mhm.
it's absolutely fantastic. But I have to say, you know, in Finland right now we have upcoming amazing filmmakers like Selma Vilhunen, Juho Kuosmanen, Mikko Myllylahti, that I've been concentrating a lot in Finnish films, because I can feel there is some kind of a new wave, if there
Mhm.
is such a thing coming up. I've always loved Virpi Suutari, Susanna Helke's documentaries. You know, they are still doing amazing job. You know, there are so many, you know, Kia Rostamis, Panahis, and Asghar Farhadi, you know, all the
Yeah.
films that Shahab Hosseini has been into with Asghar, you know, they are just amazing. So they are a lot, but but unfortunately, now that you actually make films, there's less time to watch films. So
Yeah.
we've been watching a lot of films, just going back to Kramer against Kramer, and
Oh
just
yeah.
just going back in time and just see the old films. They are uh, just so amazing.
Yeah. If you could narrow it down, what's your favorite Iranian movie of all time?
I would say Kia Rostami in total, but
Okay.
for me, as a filmmaker, it's not my favorite film.
Mhm.
But as a filmmaker, no, as a filmmaker, it is my favorite film. As a
Mhm.
filmmaker, The Wind Will Carry Us
Mhm.
is his best film because he did something that Godard has been trying to do all his life, and he just did it. Taking cinema forward. That's why I say, as a filmmaker, even if I wouldn't like it as a filmmaker, I loved it because of what it did to cinema. But maybe it's so hard to say what is his favorite. Maybe, I don't know. Taste of Cherry, has
Yeah.
changed my life.
Yeah.
Just every time I feel bad, I'm just like, man, Taste of Cherry can save you, man. Just stop it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't narrow it that much more, because close up. If you have seen close up, that's
Yeah,
a
I've seen that
master.
one. Yeah.
You see, like, how can you do that? Just
Definitely.
feels so unreal that someone can, manage to do something like that.
So, tell me about working with children, because they always say if you work with animals or children, you get unpredictable results, right? But it seemed to
I've
work
been,
out pretty well, right? Tell me about that.
yeah, I've been doing it since I start making films.
Mhm.
So for me, it's pretty normal.
Mhm.
And since the university, they've told me this, and I've been doing it anyway. I understand them very well
Mm.
because it was terrifying the time that we had, like, because children cannot work as long as adults.
Yeah.
So it as a in a feature film, it's just so hard.
Mm.
Somewhere in Finland, where you really have to be strict with timetables,
Yeah.
and it is hard, but when it works, for example, Ramin was offering me things. He was like real actor in a way,
Mm.
and he hadn't acted ever. And you're there and you're saying, like, never again children. I hate children. I don't want to work with them, because
Mm.
when you go to Donia, he's a joke. He just comes in and she do whatever she wants, the sister, and you're running out of time. And but afterwards, when you look at them, in the screen, you're like, I just want to keep working with kids. I don't want to
Oh.
grow up. It's just but yeah, yeah. But I think it's something that I don't know what's going to happen. Am I still going to work with children or not? But I just do. I'm not a very systematic person.
Mhm.
I Some idea comes to my mind, or hundreds of ideas comes to my mind, and I
Mm.
just wait and wait and wait until the one that never goes away, and I just have to do it, and it doesn't give me a chance to kind of choose what I want,
Ah.
in a way.
In your mind, what are the biggest misconceptions people have about Iranians?
Iranians love to dance.
Yeah.
Iranians are lovers. They are not fighters.
Mhm.
Iranians, they are one of the, well, how can I say, kind of kindest, because I have been living in Finland. I'm not saying because I have roots back in Iran. I'm Hamy Ramezan. I'm not Iranian or
Right, right,
Finnish,
right,
but
right.
everyone I meet from there, they offer you. I was doing a research because of this film, so I went, and I actually went to Turkey, and we walked. We came with the boats
Mhm.
and walked until Finland with the refugees and made a documentary. And there was this, exactly the young men that everyone are afraid of the
Yeah.
most. And they thought that the person that I was following, that he doesn't have any cash, and they were just giving him their money, half of what they have. So I think what you guys have Jobrani in there, quite big name, isn't he? The stand-up comedian. He's a huge like stand-up comedian. He's like Iranians like Persian cats. So that I think that is like one of the biggest things, and realizing that Iran is not an Arab country. It's Persia. They are farce, and so the situation there is for them very hard, because you're surrounded with the Arabic countries, and
Hmm.
the Islam has came into, so they are very much, and they are under the oil, so the pressure is very high.
Mm.
So I don't say anything about the politicians. Everybody have their. I'm not a politician, so I don't
Yeah.
want to talk about them. But the people, it's they are just fantastic.
Well, that's beautiful.
Yeah, you just see a Iranian play some music, he starts to dance, or she.
What does the future have in store for you?
I'm making a love story.
Oh, cool.
There is one story that never went out,
Hmm.
and it's about a this one is good. It's about a 3 years old boy and his father,
Uh-huh. Okay.
and it's kind of their love story.
Ah.
And it's very different, and I didn't pitch it to my producer, because I was like, shit, Hamy, did you have to go and come up with 3 years old? That was,
Yeah, yeah,
how
yeah.
how you gonna make that happen?
Right.
And he just fell in love so much with the idea and what I was telling, like what's happening. And yeah, we make it happen. I don't know how, but if he says we were gonna make it happen, we're gonna make it happen.
Okay. Well, I look forward to seeing that. Hey, thanks for your
Thank you.
time.
So
Do you have
thank
any
you.
final words about any day now?
Just that, if you are very bored already with the whole refugee subject matter, this is not it.
Hmm.
Go and watch it. I think for Americans, it might be like the situation with Mexico and America, and what's
Hmm.
the near past of America. I think I don't know, but there might be very much things that could American audience, kind of feel as well. I'm not sure, but it would be lovely if it comes until there to be seen. It would be lovely to see if there is any common, understanding in the subject matter.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.